Okay, today's the Fantastic Five. It's a new thing I'm doing. I don't know how long it'll last, but the top five things I've learned this past couple nights. Got some really cool things to talk about. And the first one is Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. And on here, I'm using my tool. It's based off of VSPC Play, and yeah, I don't know. I say a lot. I'm kind of getting aware of it, but um, shit. Um, I'm gonna redo this. Okay, I mean, basically, what I'm trying to get at is Star Fox, right? Star Fox for the Super Nintendo and the SPC 700 processor, and this is what I'm doing. You guys should know by now. I'm working on SNES Tracker, and this is like my debugging interface that I'm working with, and I've been listening to a lot of SPC music while I debug my application, and I noticed something while I was on Star Fox, something that's different from all the others. Let's play. Down here, where it's all green, that's something unlike any other SPC I've seen. So I went and I checked it out, and all this green means that memory writes, and they're all 9 bytes each before they have this similar value. That's signifying of a BRR sample. So I was going, oh my god, this must be a real sample being fabricated in the SPC. Something I've never seen before. So um, it wasn't being read from. So I figured I can probably write to the port tool, and maybe I can get this thing to start being read from. So watch this. If I write a 1, for instance, now it's being read and written, and you can hear the sound effect being played on voice 7. I'll solo it, and you can adjust this too. Like, I actually like the ones on the F range. Isn't that cool? I don't know what kind of sound this would be called, but so yeah, I thought that was wicked cool. Um, I don't know what type of like waveform generation this would be classified as, but very very cool. Very very cool. Okay, next, that's one out of the top 5 things I want to talk about. What's the other thing I want to talk about? Let's talk about Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island. Do I have the emulator open? Alright, so Yoshi's Island. I'm gonna want to mute the sound for this one because it's really bad. Can I? Okay. You know what? I can do this manually. Mute audio. Great. So I can. Okay. Let's run this game. Let's run it. Okay, so this 3D, pseudo 3D thing you see going on, I want to talk about that. So now let me get out of here. Let's do it in this emulator with the debugger. Okay, so something really interesting is that these are all sprites being updated, and I was wondering how the heck it was doing this. Um, that just looks so cool. Right now I have a background muted though, so here we go. Alright, it looks so beautiful, right? And I'm thinking the priorities, right? Are the sprite priorities changing because one is going in front of the other, or is that just the natural sprite number ordering that will cause this behavior? But what I realize is what's actually going on is there's no change in the sprites here. What's actually happening is the raw video data You see this? The raw video data is being updated. The sprites have been positioned, like initialized in a certain order, and certain coordinates and whatnot. But the whole animation is done like raw, where the actual picture data is just being changed. So I thought that was really cool to learn a little bit about how this effect was working. And we can also see, background 1 that's totally mode 7 at the bottom. It was probably a different mode at the top here for the sky. Probably did HDMA, and then we switched to mode 7 at that point, and then HDMA on the scrolling registers too, of course. I don't know how else this thing works, but what a beautiful and complexly implemented, just total hardware pushing. I would love to know how this effect is working too, but I don't. Okay, that's number 2 out of 5. Now let's move on to number 3 out of 5. This one is in C++. And what I want to talk about is just being able to have, if you feel like you're throwing references around in all these classes, like you want to start. I was trying to object orient my program, so I started making like a memory section and memory classes, like mouse hex dump area. Like if we open up this, like you see, I call this the main memory area. This would be the mouse hex dump area. I haven't really classed anything. This is all under voice control functionality, port tool. So, normally when I was doing C style, I had like a lot of global variables, even though they were all in namespaces, but still, you would have like one variable that you would reference everywhere. But when you start trying to encapsulate things, you want to like give them references. But then sometimes I get fed up because it's like I got 8 references to one variable. I used to just have one variable. It felt simpler. So what I figured out how to do is you can have a class. Let me see. Like I have a class memory. I call this a base class, where I have all these static variables. And what happens is once you inherit from this class, all of the subclasses from it will have these as shared variables. Like this is one variable, shared memory. So I don't know if it's exactly shared memory, but I mean what I'm saying is there's one instance of this variable across all the instances of the class. Like there's only one instance. All of the classes reference the same one instance. Okay, I said that right. So that's number 3 out of 5. Number 4 out of 5? I don't know if I have. I don't even know if I've got 4 out of 5. So, I think that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Can't think of anything else. I migrated to SDL2, and I want to learn how to tag branches in Git. Alright, so I'm going to go do that. Peace out.